Welcome back. Today's adventure, we're going to put compound turbos on. This is something I have wanted to do for a while, so it's an exciting adventure for me. I've got Betty warming up now, fill the air tanks up, and I'll drive it in and we will get started. I forgot I have to lower the airbags in the rear in order for the smokestack to clear. It's probably really close, but I just drop it anyway. So let me get the hood opened. So what we're going to do today is pull out the single turbo, pull out the fresh air intake, and then charge air coolers on the back side. Single turbo and the exhaust pipe's going to come out. I'm going to pull the exhaust manifold off just because I want to change the gaskets on it. I use the composite gaskets, which is probably fine, but I want to go back to the metal ones, check for flatness on it, even though it is a new manifold. And other than that, so I'll pull this all apart and then start filming again. No sense filming it right now. I'm sure you guys have seen pulling stuff apart before, or have pulled one down yourself. So anyway, let me get that going and I will come back to you. Well, here's a little update. We've got it all disassembled. Exhaust manifold is off. Turbocharger's out. I still have to drop the exhaust pipe, and that will take care of that. So I've got the HE351 bolted to it. The first thing I noticed is the exhaust port for the temp gauge. It looks like it'll clear. I'm going, and it does mention it in the instructions that you might have to move it, but I'm going to move it anyway down to here. So that'll eliminate that, and then just plug it. So that's not a big deal. The other thing I noticed I'll have to look for is on the K27, when I originally got this, it was mentioned that this bracket would have to be changed out so it would pull the wastegate away, because otherwise if you use the factory bracket that comes with it, it hits the cylinder block. So I had to make that bracket and move it a little bit, and then it worked just fine. So on this one here, let me see if you can see it. It'll be interesting to see how that wastegate, the bracket, is actually part of the compressor housing. So it'll be interesting to see how that, if it clears it or not. It looks like it's going to, but I won't know for sure until I get it bolted on there. And then I still have to clock the main body and the compressor housing. But this one here is sitting there where it needs to be, and then the only other concern is this is a diesel power source exhaust manifold, and it is a two-piece manifold, so you can see where it goes together. It's really thick right there, so I don't know if that's going to affect the other turbocharger where it connects, how the pipe goes down to the HE351. So I'm going to bolt that on next, and we'll see what happens, and then we'll go from there. So I'll be right back. Alright, I've got the upper turbo bolted onto it. In case I haven't mentioned it already, it's a power-driven diesel unit. It's for the 3rd generation Dodge pickups, and I mentioned that. Oh, let me show you. Even though this engine is considered 2nd generation, the 2nd generation turbo kit they use, the lower turbo sits lower, and I may have mentioned this in a prior video, but the turbocharger actually hits the frame on this. So talking with the guys over at Power Driven Diesel, they mentioned that I could use a 3rd generation on it, and the HE351 comes out the side here, and it actually, you can rotate it, clock it, and that eliminates hitting the frame. So anyway, my concerns were, I put a paper towel under there to give it some kind of distance, and it's fine there. This pipe here has connected, and it's connected to the intake side on that. One thing I just mentioned a minute ago is I'm going to move that plug down to the flange. The pipe clears there, that connects there, and other than that, we're all ready to go. The upper turbo is the Borg SXE 362, and as I mentioned, the lower one is a modified HE 351 6067-9. So it's a little bigger than the stock, and the combined unit is supposed to be a really great towing compound kit, and that's what I'm trying to do. This turd weighs 12,000 pounds, so a little bit of extra help going up the hills would make it better. So, and to keep the exhaust temperatures cooler. So anyway, the thing is just huge. So that's gonna do it for today. I want to get the exhaust manifold drilled before I start putting this thing back together, but I wanted to give you guys some eye candy just so you can see that I'm actually doing something here. So anyway, I will get this posted for you just so you can see that I'm actually doing something, and then it's probably going to be a few days before I get going on the rest of it. I'll try to get the manifold drilled tomorrow, and if I have some time, then I'll continue working on it. But anyway, appreciate you guys watching, so I'll get the next video posted as quick as I can. Thanks a lot.